You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry, ChillyBoy Chillson, and this is my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is a 2024 action sci-fi film directed by Wes Ball. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define the future for both apes and humans alike. The film stars Owen Teague, Freya Allen, William H. Macy, Lydia Peckham, Peter McCone, and Kevin Durant. So much like everyone else, I adored the 2010s run of The Planet of the Apes. From Rise through War, I thought Caesar's trilogy was really something special. And I also felt that War left it on such a beautifully definitive, amazing note that when I heard we were already picking things back up again, yeah, I was very nervous for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And that was made all the more prevalent by the fact that Matt Reeves was not returning to direct this new installment. We were no longer focusing on Caesar or any of the apes that we had come to know and love in that trilogy. Instead, it would be a completely new cast of characters under the direction of Wes Bell. So where do you go after a damn near perfect trilogy? Well, there's a lot of ways you could go. Thankfully, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes decided to keep the quality high and give us yet another stunning, beautiful, emotionally resonant film in this saga. So let's go ahead and start off with the positives for Kingdom. Well, I have to give a huge shout out to the visual effects. I know that feels like such a cop out to be the biggest positive, but truly, the visuals in this film are absolutely breathtaking. The photorealism of the apes themselves is once again jaw-dropping. It still blows my mind that that Caesar trilogy did not win a single Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, but outside of just the amazing ape work, which I think is probably on par, sometimes a little under that Caesar trilogy, if I'm being completely honest, but mostly on par with that series. The rest of the world building is so beautifully handled. We're given these amazing shots and scenes. The cinematography is stunning, but the world building done through the visual effects, done through actual sets, is absolutely spectacular. And thankfully, we have actors who came to play. Owen Teague steals the entire show as Noah, who is our new leader, our new little baby Caesar, if you will, who has to come into his own throughout this film. And he gives a fantastic performance, creates this really emotionally resonant character that I fell in love with in this film. Kevin Durand plays Proximus, our fearsome, villainous leader, and he also is amazing in this film, giving a towering performance. And then Peter McCone is amazing as Raka. This character made me absolutely fall in love with him once more, much like Maurice in the original series. The orangutans just find a way to steal my heart every single time. But the world building all around is beautiful. The lore that is created based off of that previous trilogy is really fantastic. I love that they took the time to build the world out and get that lore developed in the first act. Get us to love these characters, understand these characters, understand this tribe and who they are as a people, if you will. And because of that groundwork laid down early, oh, there are so many moments in this movie that pay off huge. I mean, Noah has really big, impactful, beautiful moments in this film, time and time again. There were at least three or four that had me like getting emotional watching this. And part of that is definitely due to this original score. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I was blown away by the score. It did so much to elevate everything I was viewing. As I said, the cinematography is stunning. It adds to the intensity, to the stakes. These big climbing sequences we get were amazing to behold on the big screen. And Westball does a fantastic job directing this film. It gives you this full, complete story while also leaving room, obviously, for a follow-up. This does feel like it is only part of the story, but if we didn't move on, if we didn't go on, it still encapsulates exactly what it needs to and gets the message it needs to get across. Now, the messaging here is not as forward as that Caesar trilogy, but it's also really poignant in what it's saying about how religious texts are interpreted, how that can be manipulated, how that can be warped over time and used for good or used for evil. Obviously, we're once again delving into what humanity is, what it means. We don't have as many human characters this go round at all. We really only have one that has any sort of stake here, but yet we're still just diving into human nature as well as humanity as it relates across the board, across living kind. And I have to say, I loved the use of eagles here. I didn't expect it. I mean, we see a lot of eagles like here in the marketing, but wow, were they utilized in such amazing ways to deliver some of the biggest, most impactful moments of this entire movie. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? So my biggest negative really is the pacing, and that only came for me personally once we get to Proxima's base. I know a lot of other people said it took them a while to get into it. I loved the first act personally. I loved everything up until we get to Proxima taking center stage. Now, that's not to say Proxima isn't a good character and actually a really somewhat complex character that raises a lot of more complex questions, and he's very much needed. However, I was just really enjoying this journey with these characters. I enjoyed where the human was specifically her role and humans in the world, their role. And once we got past that, it delved more into somewhat familiar territory, and it took a while to get back going until we hit the ground running again as we near the actual final climax of the movie. I'm also a little bit mixed on the ending. Overall, I do enjoy it because it is this really haunting mix of nihilistic and harrowing with this weird lens of optimism to it. But once again, it's the way that the humans take place in the third act and in that final bit, the ending itself, that I'm a bit conflicted on. And where our human character goes in the story. It's expected in many ways. It goes against, your typical Hollywood writing, but in other ways, it falls into pitfalls of predictability. So it definitely makes me interested for the next one. But as it stands right now, I need another viewing to really settle in on how I felt about the ending overall. But other than that, I adored this film. I was moved. I am fully attached to this new gang of characters. I loved the way they used Caesar's legacy. I loved the original score. The visual effects were amazing. It's this big, sweeping, stunning blockbuster that has weight, that has something to say, that just does everything right. This is what you want out of a blockbuster film, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes knocks it out of the park across the board. Yeah, I loved it. Now, where does it rank amongst this new era of Planet of the Apes films? Well, all of that high praise, it's definitely below Dawn still, which is like the peak of the Planet of the Apes. And I think it's still below War, but I do think it is a bit of a stronger start to a new era than Rise. So I would put it probably right about on par with War for the Planet of the Apes. between dawn and rise. So please do yourself a favor, see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes while it is in theaters. This is the type of movie that warrants the big screen, the big sound, the full cinematic experience. So that is my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or did you also check it out at an early access screening, an early press screening? It's shown a few times at this point. Let me know all of your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.